Yeah, just how, because you chose to go into photojournalism and you're kind of given that reason why, but I just wanted to know how you see photography as a potential tool, in photojournalism. Like we can kind of go into more depth about Tankman and some of the other work, but they kind of stand the test of time and inspire, can show something, can show an aspect of something that people aren't aware of or don't know about. Like, how can photography be used as a tool for change, especially nowadays?
Well, I've read some places, some websites that say that iconic images are really no longer possible. And I thought about that, and I really have no idea where they're coming from on this, because what makes a picture iconic? You know it when you see it. And can it have an effect? Well, I brought the entire Chinese Communist government to their knees in humiliation with this photo. I mean, I sent that bag of film in an American exchange student's underwear past 5 guards in white uniforms smoking cigarettes and laughing, when one of the most humiliating photos to their government went walking right past them. He took it to the American embassy because he couldn't find the AP office. I mean, I've told that story a lot of times, and I've thrown bits and pieces in there. And if you want, I can try to tell what happened. It's probably 30 minutes at least minimum to tell it. But I think that most of the listeners probably are not going to be going to war zones. They're probably just like photography. They want to take better pictures. Some may decide they want to go into fashion photography, corporate photography. I mean, I spoke at Harvard and Harvard University and Ohio University, in Utah State. I spoke to a lot of universities, Hong Kong University, the World Geographical Society, and I asked a lot of the kids this one question, and I said, are you scared of your future? And a lot of them raised their hands, and I said, well, I'm going to tell you right now, if you really want something in life, I guarantee you're going to have it. I really do. If you really want it, you will have it. And if you don't have it, you didn't really want it. So, and right after, I mean, I spend more time talking about investing in stocks than actual pictures. And one of the questions I said is, how many here are going to be photojournalists? And like, out of an entire 400 students in this giant room, and it's quite scary, because I was a bit shy when I first started talking, doing these. I don't use a script or anything. I mean, I just talk, and sometimes I ramble, like right now. But it's kind of scary when you're looking at this like almost vertical thing of students looking down at you, and you're looking up at them, and you wonder, what are you going to fart? Are you going to say something stupid, or something dumb's going to happen? And but I get used to it. And one of the things, afterwards, they came up to me and thanked me. Some were Chinese students, and they said they never knew that all that stuff happened in Tiananmen Square.
Yeah.
Also, I forgot what I was going to say. There was one thing. Oh yeah. Out of all those 400 students, I think I got 5 hands raised. Photojournalism is dying. The question is, why is it dying? That's a good question. You should research. Why is photojournalism dying? What is photojournalism supposed to be? It's supposed to be a noble profession. You're recording life, humanity. You are showing the ills of the world. You're showing the good, the joy. And so you would think it would increase with time, not decrease. So these are questions you have to ask yourself and research. So I myself, if I had to work today in newspapers or magazines, I might struggle with that a bit.
I found there used to be the case where you'd have photojournalists go out and be sent off, like you said, by AP or Reuters or Getty Images or whoever. But it seems more popular now that, if something's happening in someone's area, they're out. It could be with their phone or with a camera, and they're taking video and photos themselves. I remember we had our wildfires up here in Alberta last year, and we had one in our neighboring area here. It was about 5 miles away from me, but the smoke plumes were huge. So I went out and I took some pictures just like on the street outside my house. And Reuters contacted me to see if for permission to use that photo. And so they did for Reuters Business. And it seemed like that might be the way things work now, that there's something happening in, Egypt. Well, someone in Egypt's going to take photos. And so we don't need to spare the expense of sending someone there. We can just hijack someone's photos with permission that they've shot there. And, maybe that's how it happens nowadays. I don't know.
I think the news agencies get pictures wherever they can. Budgets are getting really tight. See, journalism is supposed to be a neutral, you can't have any opinion. You report the facts. Just the facts, ma'am, just like Dragnet, the old Dragnet, just the facts, ma'am. That's the facts. What are the facts? Not what do you think you'd like to talk about, not a political opinion, not that you hate somebody because he's a different political party. You report the facts. You go to a news event, you photograph, you document, and you move that on the wire, or you write about it, or you photograph it and send it off, that this is what happened. Not that, they didn't do this, or they're not that type of person because we don't believe in doing anything with those kind of people. It doesn't matter. You report the facts. If there's a fire and 2 people are killed, you report it. You don't say, well, there was a fire, some people were injured, there may have been injuries, and you don't report it because it might have been a high official in, let's say, the mayor's office or something. You don't hold things back. There's a lot of news events that's going on. They're holding back information. They're not releasing. They're editing it. They're sending gotcha questions when they interview you. And I don't know what else I can say. I just hope that journalism comes back to its roots and does what it was meant to do. Because I'm really disappointed in a lot of the news agencies, anchor women that I've admired and respected in the past. And now I'm very disappointed in them. But